Hello, welcome to Intro to Digital Fabrication. My name is Madison Kate Dunaway. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm going to be your instructor for this course. If I haven't already gotten a chance to meet you, I really look forward to meeting you this week, and I'm excited to get to know you. In this video, I'm going to talk about the syllabus. We're just going to kind of run through some important components, and I'm also going to give you some pro tips about how to be successful in this course. Before we get into that, I do want to just set the tone of feedback. So I would love feedback from you, not at the end of the class, every week of the class. If you have ideas about how we could do something better, if you have ideas about how we could change the trajectory of the class to meet your needs, I am super open to that. This is not a new class, but I'm very flexible and I'm interested to know what your thoughts are and what you think about the course. All right, so we're going to look at the syllabus by going to the course website. And in the upper right-hand corner, you'll find it. I'm just gonna go over some kind of really important stuff, but I recommend reading carefully through all of this because none of it is irrelevant. So here we are. The TAs for the course are Whitney O'Riordan and Oscar Ozturk, aka Tuna, and these are the open hours. So first really important thing here, the Fiber Lab Watson 138 is open Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. That means at any point during that time frame, you can come here and get help. We're also open on Saturday, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And on Sunday, we'll have specific hours just for the Intro to Digital Fabrication students, but that'll be posted on a weekly basis on the course website. Okay. All right, schedule notes. So yeah, this is pretty important. We have 2 week-long breaks, but they do not line up fully with the academic calendar. So the first week-long break is going to be after fall break. You will have an assignment due over fall break. And the second one is over Thanksgiving break, and you will not have an assignment due. So I just want to be transparent about that. I also want to be really transparent about the workload. This is a class that will require around 12 hours of work each week. And kind of how I came to that is right here. So you typically have 3 hours of instruction and 9 hours of outside work for a 1-credit class. This is a 1-credit class. The lectures, like I said, they're all asynchronous, and my lectures will never go past like 1 hour. They will be pretty cut and dry, and you can watch them on your own time. And so I've kind of given you a bit about how this breaks down. So you'll probably have 1 hour of asynchronous lectures where you can do those literally wherever you want to. You'll have about 2 hours of machine trainings each week, and that'll be in person, and we'll coordinate that together. And then there'll be 5 to 7 hours of lab work, and this could be some work that you can do anywhere and some work that you'll probably need to do in here. And then documentation. So a really key component of this course is documentation. And if you're kind of like constantly doing this and you're being really consistent about it, it's not going to take a super long time. But most students wait until the last minute and then they're like, oh my gosh, they're trying to jog their memory. Like, what did I do? Then it's going to take 2 hours. Okay. I'm going to skip through this. Okay, this is super important. So let's say you get a grade. You'll get grades every week. You'll get a grade and you get a C and you're like, oh, that sucks. I really want a higher grade. You can resubmit every single week, not just one, every single week for a higher grade once. Okay. So you can look at my feedback and then there'll be a week in about 7 weeks where you can resubmit any of those first 7 weeks and you can try again. I think everyone should get an opportunity to receive feedback from me and then to iterate and improve. So if you get a D your first week, it's okay, you can try again. The only thing I'll say with this is if you're consistently like banking on improving every single week, you're gonna be cramming at the very end. So I would just manage your time effectively. There is a final project, not a final exam, and it's 20% of your grade. The weekly assignments are 80%. Safety in the lab. So this year we're in the Fiber Lab and there are less dangerous machines in here, but there are some machines where you will need to show up with like closed-toed shoes. If you have long hair, your hair will need to be back. You can't have anything dangling. And you'll know when that's coming up, but just be clear on that. You also will only have access to this lab during open hours. And we'll learn more about that in the coming weeks. But if there is an emergency, this is my number. Don't call me first, but this is my number in case you feel the need to call me. There's also campus police, but if it's like a real emergency, just call 911. Do not call campus police. Do not call me. Call 911. Okay. Other rules. No, we don't need to go through that. Okay, course schedule. All right. This is kind of important. So you are going to be split up into 2 groups, okay? And you're already split up into 2 groups, and you can figure out which group you're in by going to the top right of this page, and there is a tab called Assessment. We'll go there in just a second. One more thing before we go there. This is the last day to resubmit grades for previous weeks if you want to try again. And December 18th will be the last day to resubmit the second round. And we will be wrapped up around when final exams start for everyone else. So you won't have a final exam for me, just the final project, okay? All right, let's go back to the course site and let's check out assessment. So like I said, figure out which group you're in by going to assessment. So when I click on this, I'm gonna see all of you, but when you click on this button, you should just see you. If you see other people, you should email me because then you're going to be able to see their grades for the entire semester. Okay, if your name is spelled wrong, if anything is up, email me, let me know. Okay, so I'm going to click on Ryan. Okay, and it says assessment, here we go, just a Google sheet. And this is Ryan's schedule. Okay, so I have down here these tabs and my timeline. So the timeline for everyone for the first week is make a website. We'll talk about that in a second. And then Ryan's going to start with these first 6 machines. Okay, then there's going to be a break and then a few other things. We introduce final project, then another break, and then we wrap it up. Okay, so some of you will have this and another half of you are going to have a different rotation of machines. Okay, so not all of us are going to be on the same machine every single week. Now I'm going to show you how grades work. So then I'm going to go to this first week, making a website. And the way this will work is you'll have an assignment due at the end of every week on Monday at around like midnight. And on Tuesday morning, I wake up at around 6 a.m. So if you get it in at 5 a.m., it's okay. And at 6 a.m., I'll start grading. And the way that the grading will work is I will just plug in here, okay, Ryan created a homepage. Ryan did not create an easy way for me to navigate. Okay, Ryan created an About Me page. Yes. Okay, so then you can see down here, there's the grade. Okay, so that's how it'll work. So you basically have a built-in rubric, and as you begin an assignment, this is where I will explicitly write out the requirements for the assignment. So like before you really get started, you should also reference this. And this will be where your grades are for the entire week, or for the entire semester. And so then when you're like, okay, she said I didn't create an easy way to navigate, the lights just turned off. You can comment and be like, I think I did, can we talk about this, whatever. Also, when we're ready for regrading, you can comment on this and be like, okay, this is what I want regraded. This is what I want regraded. And then I'll pop up a regrading tab right here. Okay. So this is kind of an interactive document. You can't edit it, but you can comment on it. All right. The next thing we're going to talk about is how to set up a training. So if you go to your first week, making a website, it says schedule your first training. So you can click on this and there'll be a few options here. So this is our platform for all of our users. So you, every other student, staff, faculty, we have hundreds of users, and so they all use this. So I've created a special tab for you. So you can go to Intro to DigiFab Trainings, first training, click on that. And your first training is going to be with me because I want to meet you and I want you to get comfortable with me. So you click on this, and then you plug in a time. It's going to ask you for this, and then it sends me an email that you've scheduled your training, and it'll also send you, I think, like a text to remind you that you have scheduled a training. I would also just show you over here, you can, like later on, you'll be able to book machines once you've gotten a training. And so then you go to FiberLab, you'll click on something, and then you'll schedule the machine use. I will say about this, if you are 10 minutes late, we cancel your appointment. And you're not the only class in this space this semester, so it's going to be pretty packed all of the time. So if you don't show up, your slot will be taken, and just kind of be aware of that. You can always cancel it, or you can email me, be like, oh, I don't know how to cancel it. Madison, can you cancel it for me? I totally will. But just kind of be aware of that. You should show up on time for your appointments. So a few pro tips for this course that I haven't really talked about. Number 1, documentation. I will never see physically any of your work. So if it's not documented on your website, you did not do it. Understanding that, what I would do is keep your phone with you at all times, constantly take pictures of everything. When you're at a training, take a photo. It's not going to be weird. All of the people in here have experienced Intro to DigiFab students before. They understand how much documentation is a part of your grade. They're not going to be like weirded out. If you don't have a smartphone or something that you can take photos with, you should email me ASAP. Another pro tip, ask for help. We are not burdened by you needing help. I am literally here to support you. And if you're in this course, maybe even the first week is the hardest week, and you're like, wow, this is insane. I am going to drop this course. I would pause and ask yourself, are you dropping it because of the content? You think the content is too challenging for you? Or are you dropping it because you weren't prepared to spend 12 hours a week on one course, and this isn't like the lifestyle you want for this semester? If you don't want to make the time for this course, that's totally fine. It actually is. I'm fine with that. I am not offended. I understand what college is about sometimes, and sometimes it's about having fun. I get that. Okay, this might be the course for you this semester. That's okay. If it's a content thing and you're like, oh my gosh, this content is insane, it's way too hard, yada, yada, that is why I'm here. I'm here to get you through this content, and I want you to reach out to me. I very, very much want you to reach out to me, okay? So with that said, I think you are going to have a tough first week. I am here for you. Reach out. I'll see you later.